Yeah, morning, y'all. So, having goals is important. Holding yourself accountable to reach those goals is also important. One thing that we see women getting hit over the head with constantly is don't weigh, don't weigh, don't weigh. And so the whole fitness industry has programmed this fear of getting on the scale into women. However, this scale holds you accountable. Now, there are some nuances to this, like if you are very lean, right? Things are just different. Your body's gonna fluctuate more. Everything that you change, like if you have some extra mustard, could cause some fluctuation. But that still doesn't mean that you can't weigh. It just means you can't be emotionally attached to that number, okay? Which goes for everyone. Now, let's say you're overweight. You need to lose 50 pounds, okay? And you're weighing. You weigh weekly or you weigh daily, right? And let's say that you work really hard for about a month, you lose about 12 pounds, right? So you kind of relax a little bit, and then, especially on weekends, you have some drinks with your friends and stuff like that. You notice the scale going up, okay? Because you're weighing every Monday, right? The scale's starting to creep up there, right? Maybe it's up 1 pound one week, and then the next week it's up a pound and a half, right? So you're like, oh, what is going on? So then what you do is you look back because you've been weighing, you're noticing this number go up, right? Because it might not be noticeable in your clothes or how you look at first. So you look back at your lifestyle and you're like, oh, man, I had all that chips and queso, and you didn't track it. So then you plug it into your MyFitnessPal or whatever you're using, right? All of a sudden you realize that these weekends of you giving yourself more freedom have actually taken you out of a deficit and into a caloric surplus. So you're putting on fat now. But you would not have caught that if you weren't weighing. Okay? So weight is relevant, especially in a situation when you're somebody that needs to lose a lot of weight. Okay? Because the cold hard truth is you are not ever going to build that much muscle tissue to where it's going to even out with your fat loss if your goal is primarily to lose weight. Okay? That's the cold hard truth. Anybody who tells you that you're going to do this is lying. It's just not possible. Your body does not synthesize muscle tissue that quickly. Okay? And even if it did, right? It's there's really just no way. Um you would have to be on significant amounts of anabolics, most likely, to remotely come close to that. Now, you could get some initial weight gain from inflammation due to working out, right? But that still should not offset the amount of weight you're going to lose from excess fluid retention right off the bat, fat loss, all of that good stuff. So, in that situation, getting on the scale every week and tracking progress towards a goal was what caught the deviations, okay? And without getting on the scale, without taking that number seriously, that would not have happened. Okay, so my whole point here is the scale is your first tool to track your progress. A lot of people, they don't have access to DEXA scans, and it can really be hard to objectively evaluate your progress in pictures. So the scale is going to be your go-to, and you have to learn not to be scared of it, and you can't take it emotionally. You have to use the scale as a tool to say, okay, what have I been doing that is causing this number not to change? And you have to be honest with yourself, right? And the scale is a great tool to help you do that. Thanks.